Hey guys, this is Todd Habercorn, and you're listening to the Fairy Tale Podcast.
So hello and welcome to episode 50 of the Fairy Tale Podcast. Alright, so we're just a month away from the release of the Fairy Tale movie. For those of you in Japan, I bet you're excited. For those of us that are here in America, fuck you. It sucks. It sucks us being in America because, we don't get to see it. And it sucks. You know, Mashima, why don't you make movies here in the U.S. at a simultaneous release? Just saying. Oh well, I'm sure it'll be the bomb diggity when it comes out here. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. Just a couple of days away from Otakon, and we're hoping to hear back from them and Funimation regarding press, because we'd really, really like to get interviews with you guys for the voices of Lucy and Natsu from the Japanese version, or the original version, however you want to call it, of Fairy Tale. And also, since two other members of the Fairy Tale voiceover community are going to be there, we've also got the girl who plays Juvia, which is Brina Palencia. You said that Tatum is in Fairy Tale, so who does J. Michael Tatum play?
Actually, I'm going to go look that up real quick. I was looking through his profile earlier today, and I don't remember, but I saw Fairy Tale, and I was like, what? I didn't recognize the character name, so I think it's just a side character, but I'm going to go look it up right now.
It may be.
I don't care, that puts Tatum in Fairy Tale, which is a straight shot, so to speak. That's all I'm saying.
He might be Simon, or Simon, depending on how you want to pronounce his name. Might have been in the later arcs, just saying. But if you're headed up to Otakon, make sure you wear your Fairy Tale cosplay. Just saying. Like, they're going to hear this before Otakon comes out. No, it won't. Also got some wonderful news. We have an interview for this episode with Cherami Leigh, the voice of Lucy, and we're going to be playing that for you later. We've got a bunch of fan mail to go through, and as always, we've got Charle's Magical Education, Cooking with Elfman, and Reedus Gallery, and we've even got Lisanna back. Yay!
Yay! I'm still in Boston.
And we're going to go through, yes, she's on the road. I'm on the road.
I'm on the road.
All right. But we're going to go through the manga again, but we're going to change things up. We're going to start releasing the episodes. I think starting with 45, you guys are going to notice that we're going to be releasing the episodes without the manga read-throughs, and we're going to release the manga read-throughs completely separate because it takes so long to get the manga read-throughs out. So we're going to start doing the manga read-throughs as a separate segment.
And
outside of the...
he was who you were saying he was. He's Simon, whatever, however you say his name.
See, mine like a steel trap, people. Mine like a steel trap. Covered in grease and banana peels.
But that's okay, Tatum. That's all that matters.
So yeah, that is the things to look forward to on the show. Do we have anything in the way of podcast news that we want to share? Anybody?
Yes, my penis can morph into many objects.
That is not podcast news.
It is now.
All right, so...
have we talked about, I guess, what happened in Anime Southeast? Because I wasn't on, I think, the recording right after.
I don't think we talked about it very much, if we did at all. I don't remember. Did we talk about Anime Southeast a lot?
Yes.
We did?
You did.
We did?
Well, that's okay. It was awesome.
Yes.
Just saying.
Okay. It's been a minute. Sorry.
So much that I got bored and fell asleep.
Fuck yeah. Alrighty, so that having been said...
Jealous because I wasn't there.
That having been said, I guess that's it for our podcast news, and we're going to hand things over to Charle, who has our con news.
Hello and welcome to Con News. We have Anime World Chicago, which is August 3rd through the 5th at the Hyatt Regency O'Hare. However you want to say it. Fuck this shit. Rosemont, Illinois. Todd Habercorn and Monica Real will be there. Then we have GoDaikoCon, I really need to find a proper pronunciation for this.
Go die, Con!
Because it's either go be a dyke con or go die con.
Go be a dyke, Con!
I don't know.
Connor, are you headed to that convention?
I kind of already look like one.
I know someone who looks like a
I may be
lesbian
in
clown.
attendance if I can stop playing Diablo 3 long enough. But yes, it's Go DikeCon. Go DikeCon. I'm the president of it, don't you know?
Well, then we should be able to get in for free.
And we know what
Yeah, free
sponsored
badges
by.
all the way around. But you have to be a chick, and you have to have a nice.
If you're the
set of
sponsor,
tits.
then
I
if you're
kind of
the
look like one already. Thank you very much.
I have.
What about-
text. Can I get
What about a,
Okay.
what about dead ass? Can't you have dead ass?
I don't know. Bring me Tatum, and then we'll talk.
I have both. I have both, okay?
Dude, if I bring you Tatum, I'm getting in for free. I don't care what gender I am. I'm gonna be surrounded by pussy with the biggest damn
Okay.
smile ever.
But you won't be able to touch it.
Are you kidding? Everyone's bi at cons.
I'm not.
Well, then you
That's
shouldn't
because
be
you weren't
going.
drunk
Is August 3rd through the 5th at the Auburn Hills Marriott at Center Point in Pontiac, Michigan, and Tia Ballard will be there. Then we have San Japan, and it is August 10th through the 12th at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center at the San Antonio Grand Hyatt Hotel in San Antonio, Texas, and Chris Sabat will be there.
Yeah, San Japan. So.
Okay. I wasn't sure about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so San Japan is August 10th through the 12th at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center at the San Antonio Grand Hyatt Hotel in San Antonio, Texas, and Chris Sabat will be there. Then we have Animathon, which is August 10th through the 12th at the MacEwan University in Edmonton, AB.
Alberta, Canada.
Yeah, Alberta, Canada. I looked
Yeah, I
up.
was gonna say, that was a location within Canada.
Yeah.
That's that
Alberta,
Canadian
Canada.
con.
And Todd Havercorn will be there. And that wraps it up for con news.
Alrighty, so yeah, that's going to wrap it up for all the con news and con updates for us, and we are going to move on to all of our segments, starting with Charles' Magical Education.
Hello, and welcome to How Many Curse Words Can Charles Come Up With in 10 Seconds?
Go.
Let's start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4.
110.
Fuck shit, cut burger, cheese, doodles, crack shit, babies.
Okay, cheese, babies, and crack wasn't really cursing.
Cheese
Cheese
doodles?
doodle ass shit, baby.
Magical cut burgers.
Shut up, my curse words are legit.
Alright, hello.
Okay, he
and
changed his mind.
Charles. Stupid American fucking bastards!
He's not American.
That insult is null and void due to the fact that I'm actually English and not American.
No, it came out in English instead of in German. Okay, hello and welcome to Charles' Magical Education. I'm going to cover Jose. Yes, this is going back a little, but I ran out of Lamia scale.
I'm going to cover Jose.
With
Yeah.
what? Be specific.
Your blood.
I don't have any. It's like my nipples, they fell off.
Okay.
Surprise nipple check.
By the way.
Jose was the guildmaster of Phantom Lord and the main antagonist of the Phantom Lord arc. He was also one of the 10 wizard saints before instigating the guild war with Fairy Tail, which cost him the title and caused his guild to be disbanded. In the manga, he debuted at chapter 47. In the anime, he debuted at episode 21. His Japanese voice is, please correct me if I say this wrong, Takashi Matsuyama?
That's correct.
Okay. His English voice was Ed Baylock. Jose is a tall, slim man with long, straight black hair reaching down his shoulders and a thin mustache, which was given a dark reddish tone in the anime. He has got a long and sharp face, vaguely pointed ears, and prominent eyelashes, with dark-colored lipstick. At first, Jose acted very silly somehow, like his rival Makarov, using jokes and silly motives to make points and dodge important questions asked to him. He was also portrayed as a comical character of sorts, displaying stunned expressions on different occasions, such as when Lucy was seemingly going to pee before him, when she kicked him in the groin, or when she let herself fall from the tower to the ground to escape him. He also claimed to be a gentleman and appeared to be very respectful of his subordinates, referring to them with the honorific San, and even referred to the captive Lucy with the even more honorific Sama. He was also shown sincerely praising Erza after she had taken the blunt of... God, I can't remember what that was called. Anyway. However, Jose's true personality tends to suffer, or oh my god. Surface every time he gets angry. In shut states, he shows himself as he truly is, an evil, reckless, and sadistic man, willing to cause extreme suffering to his enemies and to commit evil deeds only to prove the superiority of his own guild. He is also greedy and willing to blackmail and pump money out of the rich Hartfilia family by keeping Lucy hostage to finance Phantom Lord's activities. This evil side of him seems capable of literally affecting Jose's appearance, as seen during his fight with Erza, in which he has shown taking on monstrous features while claiming that she was a woman worth killing. His magic is darkness magic, and it is a caster-type magic which utilizes the element of darkness. This magic allows users to manipulate and control destructive dark magic. This magic has a physical form used for destroying objects, blocking enemies' attacks, and picking up things. The color of the magic varies between different users. Users typically shape their attacks into the form of ghostly apparitions, which they can use in various attacks, such as tornadoes or pillars. Ghosts can even be used to strangle enemies because of the very malicious nature of this magic, which tends to complement the sinister nature of its users. It is known to make people physically ill and cold. Like other elemental magic, this magic includes body transformation. In nature, darkness magic is weak against light magic, which we see Markarov use his light magic-based spells against Jose's darkness spells and defeated him without difficulty. It is unknown if there are any magics weak to darkness. He can also use thought projection. It is also a type of caster magic, where an illusion type of magic in which the user creates fake bodies of humans by separating his maximum supply of magic. And that wraps it up for Charles Magical Education. I'm going to hand it over to Elfman for Cooking with Elfman.
Today on Cooking with Elfman, I'm going to teach you how to make something called a Poo Poo Platter. And no, it's not what you think.
This?
Sorry.
Excuse me while I get rid of
And those were the
my,
ingredients and the directions, but all on a plate.
In a
I'm
crab
gonna
shell.
I'm going to teach you how to make a crab ragoon and coconut shrimp Poo Poo Platter. For the crab ragoons, you're going to need 4 ounces of cream cheese at room temperature, 2 teaspoons of soy sauce.
If you don't have any
Yeah.
cream cheese, you can just jerk on Grace cock.
No, don't. Yeah, I can turn it into a plate.
Oh my god.
I
I'm
can
going
take
to
it
bite
off
you
as well.
all. I'm going to bite you all.
Please don't threaten me with a good time.
Maybe later. 1 scallion, 1 green hearts minced, 1 garlic clove minced, 4 ounces of crab meat, picked over and and cartilage or shell removed, hot red pepper sauce to taste, cornstarch for dusting, 24 wonton squares, about half a 12-ounce package, 1 large egg white, beaten with a pinch of salt until foamy, vegetable oil for frying. For the coconut shrimp, you need 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 large egg, beaten, 1 cup of club soda, vegetable oil for frying, 24 large shrimp, peeled and deveined, and 1/4 cup of unsweetened coconut. For the Poo Poo Platter itself, you're going to need duck sauce and hot Chinese mustard. It's very, very tasty. I like hot mustard, period. For making the crab ragoons, mash the cream cheese, soy sauce, scallion, and garlic together in a bowl with a rubber spatula. Stir in the crab meat and season with the hot red pepper sauce. Line a baking sheet with wax paper and lightly dust it with cornstarch. Place a wonton in front of you, rotating it so it's shaped like a diamond. Place a teaspoon of the filling in the center of the lower half of the wonton. Brush the edges of the wonton with a little egg white. Fold the top of the wonton down over the filling to form a triangle. Press the center of the wonton gently to flatten the filling slightly, then press the edge of the wonton to seal. Hold the triangle in your hands. Button work. Bring the lower 2 tips of the triangle across the bulge in the center of the ragoon to meet, or wrapping the tip slightly, sort of as if the ragoons were wrapping its arm around itself and giving itself a hug. Fill the tip with a dab of egg white. Place the ragoon on the baking sheet. Repeat with the remaining filling and wontons. Cover loosely with plastic wrap and refrigerate until ready to fry, or up to 2 hours. Then position a rack in the center of the oven and preheat the oven to about 200 degrees Fahrenheit or 93 degrees Celsius. Pour enough oil into a deep, heavy saucepan to fill it halfway up the sides. And place the pan over medium to high heat and wait until the oil registered about 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 176 degrees Celsius on a deep frying thermometer. Line a baking sheet with brown paper bag cut open, working in batches to avoid crowding. Add a few of the wontons to the oil and deep fry, turning them as needed until golden brown, which is about 2 minutes. Using a wire spider or a slotted spoon, transfer the ragoons to the brown paper lined baking sheet and keep warm in the oven while you repeat with the remaining ragoons. Now for making the coconut shrimp, mix the flour, baking powder, salt, and egg together in a medium bowl. Loosen the club soda and let it stand for about 10 minutes. Line a baking sheet with wax paper. Line the second baking sheet with a brown paper bag. Pour enough oil into a deep, heavy saucepan to fill it halfway up to the sides and heat till it's about 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 176 degrees Celsius on deep frying thermometer. The oil, the ragoon is clear and not flecked with burnt wonton bits. You can reuse it for the shrimp and spread the coconut on a plate. Working with 1 shrimp at a time, hold it by the tail and dip it into the batter, and any excess batter dip into the bowl. Roll the shrimp in the coconut until it's completely coated, and place the shrimp on a wax paper lined baking sheet. Working in batches to avoid crowding, add some of the shrimp to the hot oil and deep fry until golden brown, which is about 2.5 minutes. Using a wire spider or a slotted spoon, transfer the shrimp to a brown paper lined baking sheet and keep warm in the oven while frying the remaining shrimp. Now to assemble the Poo Poo Platter, transfer the ragoons and shrimp to a serving platter and serve warm with little dishes, or little packets of duck sauce and hot Chinese mustard on the side. To make the hot Chinese mustard, if you want to make it, dump a half cup of mustard powder, such as Coleman's, in a small bowl and whisk it to break up any lumps. Whisk in as much boiling oil as needed to achieve the desired consistency, starting with about 1/3 cup and adding more hot water as needed in tablespoon increments. Let stand uncovered for at least 1 hour before serving. Muffins can be refrigerated in a resealable container for about 5 days. As it for Cooking with Elfman, I'm going to pass it on to Lisanna for Reedus Gallery.
Hello, and welcome to another entry into Reedus Gallery. For this episode, I've got an image titled Fairy Tale, Manga Color 291 by Elworld Cheapo. It's a manga coloration, as it says, of one of the scenes from one of the more recent chapters. It's pretty well done. I mean, they got the
The line art's pretty good. The background's kind of got that sense of it being water without it being realistic. Because the whole thing's absolutely 2D. You've got the cell shading, which is well done. You've got, well-drawn expression, but of course we have to thank our main artist for that, not this coloration artist. The eyes are well done, and personally, this isn't one of my favorites, but it's pretty good for what it is. And I absolutely adore all the little scratches and the bleeding arm and how they kind of incorporate that in from the actual manga instead of leaving it out. That was very clever of them. So, with that being said, I'm going to go around the table and ask everybody's opinions. Natsu, thumbs up or thumbs down?
You missed the most important part.
I know, there's boobs.
The boobies were well done.
Okay. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Okay, thumbs up.
Alright, Charle?
Paws up.
Jalal?
Thumbs up.
Alright. Lucy?
Thumbs up.
And Kana?
Thumbs up.
Awesome. What is one thing you liked or disliked about this picture? Natsu.
Titties!
Of
What?
course.
I didn't
Of
say
course.
boobies.
Alright. Charle?
The detail.
Jalal? Yeah, Jalal?
I like the use of the blue and the bubbles for the water. And cleavage.
Lucy?
Shiny boobies!
As opposed to Squeaky.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and Squeaky. And the fact that I can actually read the bottom. Oh my god, I feel awesome! Because I can read it.
Because you speak that sexy mommy language.
Sorry, it actually took me a while. Like, I was staring at it, and I'm like,
What's it
I
say?
get it
What's
now.
it say? What's
Huh?
it say? What's it say?
Wait, do you want me to say it in Spanish or in English?
In English.
English, please.
Oh.
Hello.
No hablo español. It says, wait, fuck. Did I say that?
Okay.
That's what it says?
Of course, that's what it says. No, it says, to not betray the emotions of everyone. That is my motive for never giving up.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
my
That's
fucking
in
god,
Spanish.
I can get it!
Alright.
I get it.
And, Kana.
I'm gonna have to agree with everyone on the liking bit, but the one thing that I dislike is her, it looks like almost like she's cross-eyed, and it makes me think her, mommy no love me.
It's
The one issue I had was the fairy tale symbol on her hand. That just looks so messed up.
Alright. So, one word to describe this picture. Natsu.
Boobies?
Charle.
Water.
Jalal.
floaty.
Lucy.
Shiny!
And Kana.
Her.
I'm surprised nobody said blitzball.
I was gonna say buoyant.
Cause we were talking about that when we did the manga recap for this chapter. I think it was last week. We were like, oh my god, blitzball.
Yeah, Urza said that. I think.
I am not caught
No,
up
we
with
all
these
said that.
things.
I think Urza said it first though.
With that being said, I'm gonna hand it back to Natsu.
Alrighty, and now that we've gotten through all of that stuff, we are going to do fan mail. I'm going to read through all the fan mail, and everybody can comment as they see fit. So our first one is from Comas Samantha, and she says, Dear Fairy Tale Podcast, hello. Hello, it's me, Samantha. I just wanted to say that Fairy Tale should be on Toonami, because if it's on Toonami, then other people who haven't heard of it or seen it will see it on Toonami and start liking it and start buying the merchandise, so Fairy Tail will get more popular. I agree that Fairy Tail should be on Toonami. You guys got my vote for Fairy Tail being on Toonami. Keep being awesome, and keep being a part of Fairy Tail. From your biggest fan, Samantha.
We love you. Am I the only one sharing the love here?
I guess you are. Apparently, Lisanna has to go up to the third floor and get some pie.
That's okay, I still love you.
You guys
Well, I
can
had-
comment
well,
back to the fan mail. I'm just saying.
So
I had a
you
new
want
email.
pie.
No.
Also pause.
Our next one is from Madeline Nichols. She says, I love this podcast. When I saw that Fairy Tale had a podcast, I was jumping up and down and dancing around my room. Well, that's an understatement. By the way, I lost all the rest of my memory by downloading the podcast. I love it too much to get rid of any other episodes. Please read this on the next podcast. Granted, my parents are about ready to take my computer away because I'm so addicted to the manga, anime, and podcast. But there is my iPod. You can't take Fairy Tale away.
Well, your parents need to convert to the love of Fairy Tale. Until then, they are not parents. They are blasphemous people who call themselves your parents.
Right. Yours truly, otaku of an anime fan, which is kind of funny to say. Peace, heart, Maddie. Dare to be different.
Dude, I dared. Then I started the trend. Now I want to be the same.
I was different before everybody else.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'm the hipster.
Don't
of
rebel
different.
too much. They can kick you out of the house.
Our next one comes from Jenna Schmidt, and she says, if you guys get Fairy Tale on TV, definitely put it on Adult Swim. Okay, so the thing is, we don't really have any power or say-so, though we can say this, it's not looking too good for Toonami because there's so many other things being requested for Toonami, and they have such a limited block. Although Toonami is well aware that you want Fairy Tale on, the two most requested are Penny and Stocking and Fairy Tale. Those are the two most requested, and Adult Swim has heard. Odds are it may be getting on other networks like Nickelodeon. And I know I can hear everybody cringing right now. Nickelodeon. Okay, here's the thing. Fairy Tale is nowhere near as racy as some of the other anime that's out there. So there'd be hardly any editing at all.
I think it's
And
just the
when the
boobs that are the
DVDs
problem.
when the DVDs come out, they're still going to be uncut. You're going to get Fairy Tale in all of its glory. So you won't have to worry too much about that. All right. So other networks like Disney and Nick will cut out parts if it's too inappropriate. And I love Fairy Tale as it is. The openings should stay as they are. I think they're great. All right. Well, the guys at Funimation said that they wouldn't be cutting much of anything out. If anything, they'd just be moving clothing down a little bit more. So they just make it a little bit longer for TV. There's actually, they can do a lot more with TV now than they used to be able to back in the day. So, I mean, there's room for this going on.
Also, I don't think they have anime on Adult Swim anymore because Toonami took it.
Right.
I think Adult Swim only has the robot chicken stuff.
Adult Swim is in charge of Toonami, though.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's mainly Toonami where all the anime is, and Adult Swim is more of all the Family Guy and,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Squidbillies and all that other
Yeah.
stuff. Our next one is from Emily Ogleapple, and I'm not even joking. That's how it's Ogleapple. Ogleapple. And she says, I have a question for all the Fairy Tale podcast. What do you think of Gray and Juvia being a couple? Let me do that again without going. Yeah. What do you think of Gravia?
What do you think of gravy? I think it goes good on potatoes.
Dip it in the mashed potatoes. All right. So
I
anyway,
asked before we recorded.
what do you think of Gray and Juvia being a couple?
I think it's one of those things that either he should kill her or it should just happen to be a pairing because she's so creepy that it's like Hinata and Naruto. Just do
Not
something
sure.
about it already.
Not
I'm
sure
just saying,
it's
I'm just
or
not sure if shipping or stalking.
It just should happen or somebody should die, one or the other.
He should just do her and get it out of his system. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But if he did, then would she turn to ice once he entered?
No, you know
And
what'd be
these
funny
are these,
is if
this
after
suddenly
they had,
turned into an episode of Mallrats.
what would be funny is after they had done it, so to speak, that Jugi's like, oh, I just don't think you're my type.
Oh, that would be fucking
no.
hilarious.
That
That's
would be
just
too funny.
cool.
Alright, our next one comes from Logan Johnson, and he says, and now, behold! It was said that on the 50th episode of the Fairy Tale podcast, there would be fan mail, that of which was vast, and never before seen by the eyes of man. All of these literary exploits brought to the show the joy given to them from the mere sound of these voices we have come to know and love. these beautiful and wonderful people, we thank thee. Now for something completely different. And by different, I mean roughly the exact same, except now it's not in some prophetic lingo. Hey guys, congrats! 50 episodes. What an awesome milestone. I am mentally high-fiving and hugging you all at this second and possibly taking it further, if that's what you're into. Okay, so I'm good with the high-fiving and the hugging part. I'm good with that. You don't have to take it any further with me. With the other people, what is it?
I'm good with the high five and hug. He'd probably be scared by the rest.
Logan, Logan, we can go farther, and I will kick your ass on Halo every second of it.
I'm a hugger.
Alright. I'm a hugger, not a fighter. Sorry, this can't be longer.
Not
I'm
gonna
currently...
Oh, it can.
That's what's... Oh, it can. Give it time, baby. Alright. I'm sorry this can't be longer. I'm currently in a sling with a fractured shoulder. What the fuck did you do? I told you...
He helped fill the room.
I told you that you're not supposed to be playing rugby with Phantom Lord, okay?
No, he did. He took your advice and went barrel surfing.
Hey, we're all certain musicians.
Right? Just say it. Just say
Apparently
it.
not when someone hurts their arm.
So all I have to say is I love you guys. And I hope you guys continue with your amazing podcast for this brilliant show. Love you guys and all the best. So long, and thanks for all the fish.
So long and thanks for all the fish.
Now you're gonna get that stuck in her head for the rest of the week. F you!
I'm just gonna go back to Diablo 3.
Still love you though. Just saying. Still love you.
Yeah, we still love
Well,
you.
maybe if you had Kana, maybe if Kana had Mass Effect 3.
When did Fanmail get a backup singer?
So long and thanks for all the
Don't
fish.
make me get the start beating people. When I get a 360 again and I have Mass Effect, I will kick all your asses.
You can't kick all our asses. We're all on the same team.
I don't care. I'll find a way.
Okay, have fun with
And
that.
don't be going by points because Mitch will be in there doing biotic explosions and
No, not anymore. I don't do those anymore.
No,
Nope, it's faster without doing the biotic
I'm still a
explosions.
happy sniper, and I
Aw.
promise I'll catch up when I get back.
Alright, so our last one comes from Alexander Dozier. And he says, by the way, gotta say really quickly, natsudragmeal742@gmail.com, best email ever. Just saying. I'm not biased in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying. So, you guys are the best! I started listening to Konoha Corner in 2010, I believe. If you did, thank you, because that's around the time that it started, and we love your face for that. And I asked you guys about how to make a podcast, and you guys said I needed to do one for Fairy Tail. Ever since that day, I have loved Fairy Tail. My favorite anime is always and forever going to be Naruto. Okay, I can accept that. But Fairy Tail is so close to being tied to Naruto in my book. Anyway, on with the actual fan mail. This podcast is the best ever. I'm so glad I found out about you guys. To attempt to wrap this fan mail up, I will just say that I think you should do your best to keep these podcasts going as long as possible, which I'm sure is what you're planning on doing. Oh, and by the way, what are you guys going to do with all the old Konoha Corner episodes on Mega Upload, since the FBI took over the site? Okay, well, they're not up there anymore, and they're on the new feed, because the old feed is officially disabled, and episodes 1 through 140 are all available on them. And we posted all the special episodes and interviews and stuff too. So that's what's going on with those. On to the gifts! Since I know you guys from both of the podcasts, I'm just gonna give you all a hug, thumbs up, Date Bio, Ayusa! It's so hard to do that in the Natsu voice. The Fairy Tail hand sign, and 3 wishes as long as you don't wish for unlimited wishes. And the wishes can't clash, so whoever wishes first gets it. To end this, I'm going to say one thing. Lisanna is mine!
No, but it's
Not
not my own
forever
woman.
delivered with a mudkip.
Wait. Signed, King, Dragon Slayer, Shichidaime, a.k.a. AJ Dozier, or AJ Dozier Dark Hunter on Facebook.
Hey, I have a wish.
I wish for Skittles and no Mudkips.
I already wish for you to live with a mudkip.
Too late.
Yeah,
I already wish for you. No, you're too late. I already wish for you to live with a mudkip.
yeah, she already
No,
wished for you to live with the mudkip, so that means there were 2 left, and you just wished for no mudkips, and hers overlapped.
No, that just meant I had to live with them until I made that wish.
No,
Yes. That is how it will be. That is how it shall
that's a
be.
classic wish.
No, because he specifically said no wishes can overlap, so yours
God
can't overlap.
damn it. So I get Skittles and Mudkips. I fucking hate you people.
I wish for Tatum, and I wish for...
No, you've already had your wish. Too
No,
late.
I have 3 wishes.
No.
I get 2 now,
It's
so
no.
No,
There's only
it's
3 wishes for
total
all of
for the
us.
whole podcast.
How much more dragons I need?
There we go. Done, dragons. There. Alrighty. So yeah, that is going to wrap us up for fan mail, and we are going to move on to the manga recap. So this week's chapter is chapter 292. And we start off with the Grand Magic Games Day 4 final standings, which kind of suck. Because, you got Fairy Tail tied for 3rd yet again. But Fairy Tail B is in 2nd place. And you got Sabertooth. But this is the aftermath of the evil Blitzball game. And hey, look, Fat Chick is fat again. Just saying. I like how it's all tittyful in this one.
I know. Boom.
Alright. So anybody got comments on page 1, or are we skipping on to the next part of the story, which is page 8?
No comment on first.
Okay. So we get to chapter 292, All Feelings Unite is the title, and Lucy has fallen to the heartless tiger's poison fangs. And you've got Minerva holding Lucy by the throat outside of the Blitzball pool, and then drops her like a bad habit.
That's kind of like the first full-on purpose crotch shot there.
Yeah, I knew somebody was going to have to mention the crotch shot eventually. So yeah, we get to that.
The crotch shot of invincible bikini bottoms.
I like how immediately Gray and Natsu rush to Lucy's side as she just lets her go and drops her, and they catch her. I love that. It's these are her best friends, And shipping aside, these, I mean, if you're gonna think of this as anything, those are her 2 closest friends, and they really do care about her. So, romance aside, these are her boys. Just saying. So we get on to Gray's worrying about Lucy while Natsu's venting his anger. I like that he actually calls her a bitch. That I am so happy. I also love how everybody behind Wendy is going nuts reacting. Everybody suddenly feels for Lucy. And I'm like, oh shit. The entire arena, the tides have turned. And then Wendy is offering to provide first aid treatment. And then little Shelly is going to jump in. And then you see the complete reversal here. It doesn't matter if she may be a love rival or not. You fuck with somebody in her guild, and Juvia is... I like that you've got Juvia telling Lucy to hang in there. I love that there is still a friendship among them regardless. Then we've got Minerva and Urza in a talking stare-down kind of moment. And does it look like she's doing the backstroke to anybody else? Still say she should have chosen a better suit to go bathing in. Just saying, bikini would have done her nice. And then, so she's basically talking shit to Urza and saying that she... Alright, here's the other thing that I like. She's like, you should be thanking me. I made her 2nd place. So because she ended up in the ring still when the time went out, Lucy did indeed get 2nd place. So she did not get dropped to dead last. And of course, Natsu's all pissed off about that. Any other comments you want to make on this page? You guys are free to comment on any of the pages. Then we get this epic 2-panel spread of Sabertooth and at least Fairy Tail Team A. So you've got you've got everybody that is there except for Rogue. So the one person who's
the big bag of dicks, each one of them.
Everyone's a big bag of dicks, including the girl. She's the biggest penis of all. But
yeah.
Then you've got
PMS is turned on.
Then you've got Natsu, Gray, and Urza standing there they're ready to fuck them up, and I was so hoping that would happen. Any other comments?
Pure awesome.
Alrighty. All right, I love the next panel on the first panel on the next page. You like everybody's different looks in the audience are like, oh, like,
My favorite has to be the guy at the very top, the guy with the weird bulge dent in his head. Like he's got this weird. He looks like he's taking a shit in the stand.
yeah. Or maybe
Like,
maybe he
everyone's
just
like, oh, he's just sitting up there like
no. Maybe he just finished pissing himself, and that's his relaxed face.
Oh god.
All right, then we've got a pedo announcer guy flipping his shit. He didn't flip his wig, just his shit. Okay. Then I love the next two panel piece because we've got all the X sheet kind of gathered together there. We've got Fro and I've forgotten his name. Lecter?
Yes.
Okay. Then we've got Panther Lily, Happy, and Charle. And it's another moment where it may or may not be true, but it looks like Charle and Happy are holding hands. And I totally hope they are.
Hey,
That's
you
totally
cannot
us.
see that.
He's
They're
my
not
OTP.
holding hands.
He's my OTP.
Then we've got I love this. This is basically Urza's reply back. She's like, I don't care if you're the strongest or the top guild in Fiore, but I will tell you this, you've made enemies of the worst possible guild to piss off. And I'm like, that is the goddamn truth. And I love Urza's face in this. Any other comments for this page? Come on, we've got...
That is like
Yeah,
Urza's, I'm going to fuck you up until hell comes.
Like, you have no idea what you have unleashed. We are the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
That name.
Sabertooth.
I mean, that like the faces between Urza and those two situations just reminds me of Yamato.
Oh, really? And then Sting's like, yeah, bitch, bring it on. And I don't know what's up with Minerva, but like Minerva's like, I wouldn't want to fuck with her either. Then we get back to Lucy, and I love that Happy's right by Lucy's side. Happy really does.
Because Happy likes him.
Yeah, as much shit as Happy gives Lucy, like he really does care for her, and I love how much this is really bringing the guild together. I like that, and you get everybody's kind of solemn faces. Any comments, or are we moving on to the next page?
Move on.
Okay. All right, so the next page, right off the bat, the door bursts open, and here's Juvia and Mira. And if I were to say, these are probably two of her closest friends that are girls, discounting Levy, who is, of course, her best friend. But Juvia and Mira, the fact that they rushed right in asking if she was all right really shows kind of a closeness, I think. And then the rest of Team B for Fairy Tale comes in, and they're like, even if we're at different teams, we're the same guild. And I love that Kana's the one that stated that. And dude, Gagio looks like he's about to like bite someone's head off.
Yeah, he probably would do
Apparently Elfman's knocked out there.
Yeah, Elfman's still out from the initial fight he had with what was his
Wasn't
name?
it the Black Thunder guy?
No, it wasn't the Black Thunder guy. It was the dude that had the drinking guy that
that
ended up getting the name changed to Quattro Puppy. Yeah, that's what happened. But yeah, there was a lot of, apparently there were a shit ton of people that were helping with Lucy's recovery. Wendy, poor Lucia, and even Shelia. So big thumbs up to Shelia. I'm liking her as a character more and more now. First, when I saw her abilities, I was like, oh shit, Godslayer. She's going to be evil just like that other guy. But no, she's actually quite nice. And that's a good thing to know. All right. So, of course, everybody's getting pissed about what Sabertooth did. And then she starts coming to, and I love how as she starts waking up, Happy's really, really concerned. That's just so cute. I don't know. For me, it was like uber cute. And then she comes to and she starts apologizing, and I'm like, bitch, you got nothing to apologize for. Which is basically how everyone else in the guild feels at this time. Any comments on this page? Anything you noticed? Happiness. Yeah, there's lots of happy in this one. All right, she's like, I did it again. I didn't win, and I love how Gray and Urza immediately are like right there. She's like, look, no, you were second place. You got us 8 points. You did well.
Yay!
And I love how Happy is like the one holding her keys. Like he really, really does care. Like there's a lot of love between Happy and Lucy in this one. Like he's like even though I give you shit, you're like one of my friends, and you're nice to Natsu, and so I love you. And
Isn't
that's
that what
kinda,
you do? If you tease people that you like?
right. You're still below fish, but I like you.
I also like how Lucy like clutches her keys and like asks for them immediately after she wakes up. It kind of just like shows how much
She really
like,
cares
this-
about her.
Yeah, the spirits care to like she cares about the spirits as well.
And then upon clutching her keys and having her keys there, she can rest easy, and she falls right back asleep. And now everyone's kind of planning what do they want to do to fight Sabertooth. And any other comments on that page? And we move on. So Makarov enters in the next page and is happy to see that both teams have gathered, and says that the administration has given orders that Team A and Team B are combined because there's an odd ranking from Raventail being disqualified. And so Fairy Tail Team A and Team B are to combine. And then we get a flashback of all the different members of Raventail being carried out. Any other comments that any of you want to make about this page?
I just find it really creepy how like almost everybody in the background does not have a face. I can't stop staring at it.
Then we
They're
get
crash test dummies.
crash test dummies. Awesome. Then we get to one of the lower points of this chapter for me, just because I didn't like it. Personally, I didn't like it. The discussion of how the points would be. And so they have to go with whichever team had the lowest amount of points, which I thought was bullshit. I was like, come
That
on.
is complete bullshit. It's like they're trying to make Fairy Tail lose.
Well, Fairy Tail's still in a three-way tie right now for third place.
No, for second now.
For second now, yes. They're in a three-way tie for second. So technically they haven't dropped too far in the rankings. But we will see how things go as far as the rankings go. I'm hoping they'll still be tied. I'm just hoping that it'll be a much closer distance between first and second now. So now they've got to decide who the 5 people are going to be in this set. And I love the bottom page. It's like Natsu's in rage mode, and I love that. It's like,
and he wouldn't have anybody else but him go.
Right,
there.
we already knew that Natsu was going to be in
I
on
just
it.
noticed this, but for Lucia's little moon thing, looks like a cow.
Oh, God.
No.
Cow jumps over the moon.
Alrighty. I like how he's saying he's going to take revenge for her, and she's like, they laughed at our Nakama. I'll never forgive them. I'm like, whoa. All right. Any other comments on that page?
Oh, snap.
And we move on. We've got the crowd doing their crowd thing again. And then the announcer saying what's going on. And the matchups are already announced. So Blue Pegasus versus Quattro Puppy. Mermaid Heel versus Lamia Scale. And Sabertooth versus Fairy Tail. So no matter what, the three-way tie is going to get dropped. Just saying. And then we get the announcers talking about, oh my God, Fairy Tail versus Sabertooth. This is going to be crazy. So all eyes are on that final battle with Sabertooth and Fairy Tail. And this is a 2-on-2 battle. So this is going to be a tag team match. That's going to be interesting.
It's going to be so awesome.
And then we've got this. Then we've got weird mustache guy showing up again and saying stuff about hot. And yeah, but the announcers are less focused on the first two and more focused on what's going to happen between Sabertooth and Fairy Tail. And obviously, considering how the last competition portion went, any comments before we move on?
I don't even know who that mustache guy is.
Right.
It's like when he says it was hot, thank you very much, and it's like, what were you doing?
Okay.
Yeah, what are you talking about, bro?
What are you talking about? Because this is random as hell.
Right. All right. So here comes the new Fairy Tail team, and I like this. You've got You've got Natsu foreshadowing, and then you've got Lucy laying there telling everyone to try their best. And okay, the shippers are already screaming at this point and squealing. The Natsu Lucy shippers, yes, you've got your moment there. But also the Gray Lucy, because technically Gray's shadow follows immediately after. I'm counting on you. I like how they've got Elfman laying there saying he's counting on her, and then the next thing we see is Urza's skirt. You don't see anything else. You see the skirt. I love that. This is truly the strongest team. Bullshit. Mira is the strongest of all of them. I don't care what anybody says. But yeah, then you've got Gagiel. You can tell this is Gagiel, and you've got Wendy saying that she's cheering for them, and you've got cute, adorable Charle right there, and then you can obviously tell that the next person is Luxus. This is an awesome team from Kana. Juvia can't imagine them losing, and then I feel so bad for Levy for not getting any lines. But moving on, I mean, she's technically narrating. And then you see the rest of the guild standing tall in the next page. But going back to the previous page, any of y'all have any comments? Guess not. So we've got the Fairy Tale Guild standing there saying we've entrusted our feelings to them and they will carry things on. And Mavis is like, it's time to show them the strength of our bonds. And that is like the most wicked look I've ever seen Mavis give. It's like...
She's like saying shit is about to go down.
She's like, you just open up a can of whoop ass and you have no idea. All right, so the audience gets up on their feet. The arena starts shaking as Fairy Tale enters, and they're met with huge applause. Okay, gotta say, love the costume change that freaking Gagiel has. That's just badass looking. That's all. That's all I really want to say about that, and we can move back to 19 because I was looking at 20. But I mean, I don't think. Did you guys have anything you wanted to comment on 19? I think the major comment is on 20.
Oh yeah.
Comment on 20.
Okay, let it go. Go ahead, comment away.
So this, you can already tell this is going to be like the greatest battle, one of the greatest battles ever in the competition, just because who you've got here. And I mean, with the 2-on-2s, they're going to be trying a bunch of really interesting combos. So let's see, you've got lightning, metal, fire, and ice, and then you've got like weapons master glow back there.
Armor and weapons, yeah.
Yeah, armor and weapons. But out of the elementals, just imagine the combinations you could get out of that. It's gonna be wicked crazy.
Well, just remember the fact that Natsu can also use fire and lightning at the same time.
Oh my gosh, if him and Luxus combined powers, that would be insane.
Or how about Gagiel with metal, Lux, and then lightning through. Gagiel and Luxus, Natsu and Luxus. Natsu with basically anybody, dude, I can see overpowering.
Gagiel and Luxus. Screw Thunderhouse. Dude, he plants a whole bunch of metal spikes in the ground and lights them up like a grid. He turns into a giant cage.
Well, okay, the memory make guy is the one that Gray is considering his rival. Urza is considering Minerva his rival. Sting is Natsu's rival. Rogue is Gagiel's, and Luxus is the Black Lightning guy, who I think is a lightning god slayer, honestly, to tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest thing, and I'll move on to the next page, is this huge, giant applause coming in for Fairy Tale from the crowd, from the audience. It just blew me away because, like the words say, it's like the first day's boos were a joke. In just 4 days, they've retaken their former popularity. Like, oh my God, it's crazy how much everybody has come to love Fairy Tale all over again,
Oh yeah.
I like how there's a Fairy Tale flag in the crowd.
Yeah, I know, right? Like they're selling Fairy Tale merchandise again. It's like all over the place. And I like how we've got like a guy that's trying to like climb out into the stadium, climb out of the stadium
one
or
of
something.
those in every.
Yeah.
No, I don't
It's
think
the
he's climbing out.
streaker.
I think he's fallen over from people like cheering at the side, and he's like, "Shit, no, let me back on."
No, he's dropping down there to streak. Or maybe he's got a Fairy Tale logo on his shirt and he's trying to show it to them on the back of his shirt.
It looks more like a heart.
And we've got Raventail standing tall. Everybody looks pretty smug except for Rogue. And that's the only person in Sabertooth that I don't not Raventail, but Sabertooth, I'm sorry. everybody in Sabertooth looking very, very smug, except for Rogue, who is the only person that I actually consider to be worth a damn. Then we've got the rest of the other guilds. I'm still trying to figure out who the fuck that bunny is. Bacchus, that's the drunk's name. Bacchus. Then we've got Miliana and Kagura together. We've got Leon and Shelia, and I can't remember his name right now, dude.
Big guy.
Big guy. The Earthbender.
The boulder?
Yeah. If Toph had a son, it would be him. But just saying, guys, just saying. Then we've got Bunny. I'm still curious about the bunny. The Mystagon, and then we've got Mest and I can't remember the other dude's name. It's not Doranbalt, but it's the other one.
Spectators.
They're not spectators. They're the Magic Council people. Any comments on that page?
I think I forgot her name. Miranda, the cat. Forgot her name. Dang it! Search her name.
Miliana.
She's like in full cat sensory mode. Ears are erect, and she's just like, okay, I'm going to sit this one out.
My cat senses are tingling.
My cat senses are tingling.
My cat whiskers are tingling. All right, so we get back to Evil Square Nose, who's talking to, I don't remember this dude's name, but like short guy with a conscience. They're talking about how Lucy isn't there, and they're saying, they're like, are you going to take nasty measures like last time? And he's saying, no, that strategy failed. And they're basically just talking to themselves about the upcoming plan, and Square Nose is telling Zareth, telling them that Zareth is waiting. And I'm like, God damn it. Why does everybody gotta come and fuck this shit up? But the good news is, at least we get to see this fight. And these are like the epic stare-offs. You've got Natsu and Gajeel staring off with Rogue and Sting. And then you've got Gray and... I can't remember this guy's name. Memory Make dude having their stare-off.
Weird guy with a mask.
Right? Rufus, I think his name is.
Rufus.
Okay. Who is not here in a time-traveling telephone box. And that's not a Doctor Who reference. It's a different kind of reference with time travel.
I was watching Doctor Who
That's what I watched.
from like season 1.
Okay, moving on. Then we've got Urza and Minerva staring off. So we know who the rivals of each person are now. And I think that's going to make things a lot interesting. And then we move to the next page, and we've got the stare-off between Black Lightning and Luxus. All right, any comments on the stare-off, or we moving on?
Intense sexual tension.
Sexual tension. All right. I like how Natsu's slowly being covered in flames in his image, saying he's all fired up. And then they start talking about the Grand Magic Games and how it used to have a different name, which is Yusai, which translates to the Banquet of Dragons, Humans, and Demons.
It translates to the Dragon King Festival. It's on the side.
Ah. Well, then there we go. And it's just, wow. It looks like there were dragon slayers as depicted in this picture, obviously. And that's where we end. And to be continued in Chapter 293, The Perfume I Give to You.
Now I want to read more.
Which obviously I think has stuff to do with, what's his name, the perfume guy that creeps everybody out. So yeah, there's that. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get everybody's opinion. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Lisanna?
Oh my god, thumbs up.
Mira?
Thumbs up.
Elfman?
Thumbs up.
Charle?
How's that?
Jalal?
Up.
And Lucy?
Thumbs up.
Okay. What is one thing that really stood out to you in this chapter? And feel free to answer openly.
New team.
Well, yeah, the new team. But I really liked the intense artwork at the very end with the what the festival used to be. I like that.
Okay.
Because it's like the human and it kind of hints at like what mages were like used to be. They used to be trained to fight dragons, and now it's just trained to attack each other.
Hmm.
That's what it like seems to me.
Okay.
You know, that's kind of how it goes. You know, when we're not dragons, you fight each other. You gotta
Yeah.
fight some.
So like it's kind of cool how it's kind of going back to it because it's dragon slayers versus dragon slayers. So it's kind of like a dragon versus a human.
Okay, anyone else?
I'm just really excited to see all these, like, combos happen.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So in comparison to what?
It's like it's kind of going into Pokemon.
Oh, god damn it.
First 1v1 and now 2v2.
Okay, so yeah, that shouldn't have been in there at all. Edit that. Deleted. Anyway, so in comparison to all the other chapters that Hiro Mishima has put out for Fairy Tail so far, where would you rank this one? Lisanna.
On a scale,
Of 1 to 10.
I'm gonna give it a 10.
Okay. Mira.
An 8 or a 9.
Elfman.
Overall, 7.
Charle.
6.
Jalal.
8.5.
And Lucy.
Give it a 7.
Okay. Now, as just a standalone chapter, not competing with the rest of what's been out there, how do you rate this chapter? Lisanna.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it's, like, really late, and I've been getting very little sleep.
It's okay. It's okay. Just answer.
The 10 is for this. It's more of an 8 for comparison.
Okay. Mira.
8 or 9 again.
Okay. Elfman.
I'm gonna give it about an 8.
Charle.
9.
Jalal.
I'd give it a 9 only because it's mainly talking. I mean, it was awesome events, but just mainly talking.
And Lucy.
I give it a 10.
Okay. And anybody have any predictions for what may be happening in the next chapter?
I think we already know she's about to go down.
Yeah. Somebody
Excitement gasms everywhere.
I think they're going to pull out their trump card and finally reveal who the bunny is.
I can't wait. I really want to see him. I want him or her.
Alrighty. So yeah, that is going to wrap us up for the manga recap. And before we get on to the interview, we got one last minute email that was sent to us. So we're going to read that one out. And this one comes from Jacob Rathbone. Burst out of a box with lots of confetti bearing a bag o' gifts. Happy 50th episode, Fairy Tale Podcast. It's Jacob Rathbone from way back before Konoha Corner reached 100. For those of you on the podcast who don't remember me, that's okay. I understand. For those of you on the podcast who don't know me at all, hi. Anyhows, and I'm not kidding. That's what they said. I hope you all have been good and have been having splendid times at cons over the summer. I actually have a bit of a story to tell from earlier in the summer, like early June, I think. Watch. Again, that's what he typed. I was with some friends and my now ex-girlfriend at Oaks Mall in Thousand Oaks, California, and I was in this small Japanese store browsing the anime stuff. So I'm checking out some Naruto and Kingdom Hearts stuff when these 3 middle school or 9th grade girls walk in. At first I paid no mind and continued browsing until I heard this. This store needs more fairy tale stuff. Or something like that.
That's better.
I think I heard one of the girls mention something about how Jalal, that's how you spell it, right? Yes, Jellal. That's correct. That's how we spell it anyway. Yep. Is much hotter than this other anime character. I forgot what she said exactly.
Woo!
Without moving, I said, did someone say fairy tale? They came over to me and said they did, and I said that I agreed with the fact that the store needed some fairy tale stuff. They asked how far I was, and I told them that in the anime, I had just gotten to the very beginning of the S-Rank exam, and yes, I mentioned that I was still somewhat current with the manga because of this podcast. Oh, I forgot to mention it earlier, but I'm pretty sure one of the girls had the word Jalal on her cheek. Either that or it was I heart Jalal. I don't remember.
Oh,
Any wave, and yes, any wave.
Why are they doing this?
They walked away, and I heard them whisper amongst themselves, "He knows fairy tale." And that was that. I left the store to meet up with the others. The end. Poofing. Any whale.
This is starting to hurt.
No!
Gift
No.
time! Whips out list. Chips, cheese, bread, soda, beer. Hey, wait, this isn't my gift list. Tosses the list somewhere and whips out the real list.
I'll whip out my list.
Tanatsu.
After midnight.
Tunatsu. A Zippo lighter that never goes out and never runs out of fuel and is edible. You knew! Too Happy. A master fishing rod. Catch any fish without fail. Too Gray. A Juvia body pillow.
Oh God.
To Kana. A keg of rum. To Juvia. A gray body pillow.
Oh God.
To Loki. An Aries body pillow. Oh, jeez.
Oh God. How many body pillows are there?
To Elfman. Cookbooks. Gives Elfman 3 cookbooks that are on fire.
Oh,
Why couldn't he get an evergreen body pillow?
seriously? I mean, what? Hi.
To Windy, an enchanted mirror that when you look into it, shows you what you look like with a set of boobies. Have fun.
Elfman is a very
Imagine
built
the guys use that for their own horrible purposes.
To Lucy.
Elfman is a very built man. That would be a very large body pillow.
Yeah. To Lucy. Locks for the door and windows of your house to prevent Natsu and the others from getting in.
It
You
sounds
think
so
I'm
good.
wrong?
To Charle. Not sure at all if I spelled that right. Well, you left out the E at the end. That's the way that we
It's
pronounce
better
it.
than Carl
Yeah.
or all the other names they've given her.
Fish. To distract Happy when he's bugging you.
Yay! Thank you!
To Jalal. An anti-tickle charm.
Okay.
To Urza, all the swords and all the armor. To anyone I may have forgotten, hugs. As a secondary gift, bacon and muffins for all. Really? We can't escape the muffin. Wait, are they slutty muffins?
Yes.
It is that kind of podcast. Are they slutty
Only
muffins?
if I can put the bacon on whore biscuits.
I hope you all enjoy your gifts. I can't wait for the next podcast episode, because if we don't do one, then this bit's gonna lay here and die like a dog.
Is that Brannigan? Why are you here?
Kif told me I was invited.
Get out. We don't want you here.
I didn't know such things.
Do not require your services.
Laters. Wave spastically before poofing into smoke. This is Zaf Brannigan out there saying to all you ladies, feel free to board my ship anytime.
Wow.
Zap has told me to inform all the ladies the entrance is at the back.
Right. Alrighty, so, yeah, that was that, and we are going to move on to our interview with Cherami Leigh. So hello everybody and welcome back to the Fairy Tale Podcast. We have a special guest for you guys today because you're so awesome and we're on episode 50. We are happy to bring to you the voice of Lucy, Heartphilia herself, Cherami Leigh.
Yay! Hi! I am Cherami Leigh. Like you said, I'm the voice of Lucy in Fairy Tale. And I'm super excited to be here with you guys for episode 50. Well, celebrating episode 50, rather.
Yes, we are totally, well, it's a celebration now that you're here.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank
Where's the pizza?
you. No kidding.
Elfman ate it. You didn't see?
Oh, man.
Elfman. It was a manly pizza. He had to. I mean.
Of course. I mean, that's logical.
But I mean, first off, Cherami, you are so much more than just the voice. I mean, while you are the voice, you are the personality of Lucy as well. There's a lot that's involved in doing voiceover more than just adding your voice to it. Because if it was just using a simple voice, anyone could do it. And so there is a lot more to it than that. So could you tell us a bit about how you get started into it and some of the things that you've learned from your experiences working on all of the wonderful characters that you've done so far?
Yeah, I mean, I started acting in general when I was 6 years old, doing film and TV stuff, commercials, and then I got into voiceover when I was 7. Did my first cartoon when I was 9. Did a long-running radio series that then turned into a couple animated films from like 14 to like 17. And then when I graduated from high school, I was like terrified my safety net was gone. So I really wanted something where I needed like steady work so that I could prove to myself that I could continue acting as a career, since that's what I've done my whole life. And the opportunity to work at Funimation kind of fell into my lap when I auditioned for Psy and Peach Girl. And then from then it's just been, they keep calling me in and I keep auditioning. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. And I've just kind of lucked out to have really good directors that hear something about my voice that connects to the character, and they know my personality well enough that there's things to draw from. And one of the things that I love about working in Japanese anime, it's such a human, very compassionate, very empathetic. The characters are very, very human and very relatable. And that makes it really easy for me to find something that I can connect to from my characters that I have the opportunity to play. I may not see eye to eye with them on everything, but I can generally see eye to eye with them on the important stuff. And like with characters like Lucy, I generally see eye to eye with her on about 99% of things. So that's...
Well, Lucy is very much a difficult role because she is very much like the voice of the audience and the eyes of the audience and kind of the reaction of the audience to all the craziness that goes on in Fairy Tail. So
she is kind of like the middleman, because you have, I mean, Natsu is like nuts, and I really liked that I got to. And the great thing about Fairy Tail is that show has so many levels. Like you think that every character is, oh, this character is just wacky and two-dimensional, but everybody has like really human, relatable moments where it gets really deep. And
there's a lot of development in all the characters. Which is so much fun. Yeah.
But actually, the first thing that Tyler said to me, well, actually, I went to audition and I did not originally intend to read for Lucy, because I thought there's no way that I would get cast as this character. I'm just not going to audition for it. And I was like ready to leave the booth at the audition, and Tyler Walker, the director, said, you sure you don't want to read for Lucy? And I go, I mean, I can, but like, what's the likelihood of that? And he goes, can you just do me a favor and read it? And so I did, and then a couple weeks passed, and he ended up sending me the Fairy Tail Wikipedia page through a Facebook link. He was like, get to know Lucy really well. And I was like, this is just a cruel joke, because I really wanted to work on the show. In the meantime, from the audition to then, my boyfriend got cast and did the first Walla session on Fairy Tail. He's like, yeah, I wouldn't work on Fairy Tail. And I was like, oh, that's so cool that you got to work on that show, and I really wanted to work on it. So yeah, Tyler sent me the message, and then when he walked in, he was like, you kind of are the voice of the audience, and you're kind of what needs to make the show relatable. So all of that falls on your shoulders. Don't screw it up. And I was like, oh, thanks. So much love here. Great.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah,
none at all.
Exactly.
None at all.
No pressure. It's only a huge show, but no pressure.
Oh, it could have been worse. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and try and calculate the amount of days, but I know that he was in the doghouse for a bit of time because he made his wife the giant rat. So,
and really,
no, she loves that too. She's like,
it.
I loved being that. She was like, I loved Angelica.
And when we went to New York, he had the creator draw and write a message with Angelica in a manga to take back to Heather, which was very cool.
And I'm sorry I didn't get to like catch you guys at the time. I mean, we did our quick little 10-minute interview, and then I had to run and do a bunch of other things, and then there was the panel. I loved the panel. It was cool because it was like I'd only seen 2 episodes since then, and I got to watch the next several episodes with you guys. It's awesome. But before on the way out of the panel, I got Tyler to sign my Happy plushie.
Oh, amazing!
So he was the first person to sign it, and I managed to catch Hiro Mishima leaving. So he signed Happy's foot.
Oh, that's so cool.
And that plushie is never leaving my house again.
Yeah, no way.
Our Lucy can attest to this. And the reason we call them Jalal, Lisanna, and Lucy on our show is because we dub the manga on ours.
Yeah.
So that's what we do. We do this as fans. We voice several different characters by reading the manga out loud. So it's kind of like an audiobook kind of thing, or like a CD drama. And then I take the music from Fairy Tail and put it behind it, depending on the mood or the situation. And then I add sound effects that I can find. And we kind of treat the manga as if it were an audio CD or an audiobook or like a live radio drama, as it were. And we have fun with that. We love doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why we go by character names, even though we really don't need to. But we love doing that, and that's given us a lot of insight and massive respect into what you guys do, because we like barely scratch the surface of what you guys do, and it gives us and it makes our jaws drop even more when we hear your awesome work. So there is no better way to appreciate an art form than to attempt it yourself.
No, that's so true. That is so true.
But I mean, it was just great hanging out at New York Comic Con and like experiencing all of this with you, because I know y'all hadn't seen many episodes at all. If you've seen any,
not seen any of them. We talked to each other, and
that's what I think.
We're not going to watch any of them until we premiere.
I was like, the one thing I was standing in the very back thinking, you know what? I would give anything to have a microphone right now and just put it like right in front of you guys and just let you guys just talk, almost like commentary, but just like you not knowing it's commentary and just talking through the episode. Hey, I remember that part.
Yeah.
Or was it just basically you were like, oh my god, it
was a little bit of that. It was a little bit of like, oh my gosh, this is actually happening. And it was like, oh my gosh, I hope they don't hate it. Because
I figured y'all had that, like, there was that, like, little piece right there somewhere buried in going, please don't let them hate it. Please don't let them hate it. A little piece?
It was like the whole thing. I mean, I think, like, Todd, Tyler, and I were sitting together, and Colleen and Newton were in the front row. And Todd leans over to me and Tyler, and he goes, well, here it goes. Let's hope we don't die.
Well, all right. I will tell you some of the things, and when we get Brina Palencia on, I'm gonna let her know about this too. Like, the biggest hate that Fairy Tail has gotten, and I've defended this, is that everybody's pissed that Juvia did not refer to herself in the third person like she does in the Japanese version. And I'm like, okay, in Japan, referring to yourself in the third person is cute and very childlike. Over here, it's insanely freaking annoying.
Well, and that's another one of the things, because on another show that I worked on, we got a huge bunch of flack for not following the traditional translation for panty and stocking. And we were like, yeah, with the rolling of the R's for rules, and they were mad. And I understand, and we tried it both ways, and the Japanese said it's a joke making fun of the English language, and so if you're doing it in English, it doesn't work. So don't do the joke.
Exactly.
That's not being true. So I think, I mean, I would assume that the Fairy Tail thing with Juvia was the same thing. I wasn't involved in that.
Well, I know you weren't directly involved, but that was the stuff that they were picking at, and I'm like, look, over here in English, when you refer to yourself in the third person, it's very egotistical.
Absolutely.
And that character is not egotistical.
No, not at all.
No, Juvia is not egotistical. She is just... If she really had an ego, she wouldn't be as obsessed as she is with Gray.
True.
But that was like the one thing everybody kind of really bitched about. And I was like, no. And then I started bitching them about back. And I was like, look, explain. This is why you're wrong.
Well, I guess if that's the worst that they can say, then we're doing okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's all been nitpicky stuff that I've seen. And I'm like, if all they're doing is talking about nitpicky, you guys did amazing. Like, honestly, it took me a little bit of time to get used to everyone's voice, except for Tia. Like, I don't know why. I was like, okay, yeah, that's totally happy. I don't know why. But it took me a little while to get used to everybody's voice because I just been used to the Japanese version. That was what I started with. It took a little bit of adjustment, but it wasn't quite as much adjustment as other shows that I'd had because the essence of the characters was portrayed correctly. You got the personalities, the comedy, the timing, everything was there that was supposed to be. I was just listening to an English version.
Okay, cool.
Same show, English version. And for me, that's a huge compliment because if I don't like something, I'll tell you. I'm not going to kiss
I'm
no one's
glad that you like it.
Yes, I like it because I think that you guys actually did a very good job of catching the essence of the characters. And if you didn't, I would have probably killed this after 5 episodes. So
Yeah, I mean, well, we love the show, and we're always working and always want to learn more about the show, and we would love to be able to do the show for as many episodes as the Japanese do.
150 episodes so far, people.
I know. Oh.
Get on the forums at Funimation.com. Spam them like crazy. You want more fairy tale. You want more fairy tale.
Todd is getting a tattoo. I don't know if that's happening. But...
Oh, it has to be over 100 episodes. We haven't hit over 100 episodes yet.
Right. So once
that's
you get over
the
100,
thing.
Todd's getting a tattoo, from what I understand.
Yes. Todd will be. We've talked to him several times about this. As a fact, because we're planning on getting tattoos ourselves. Like I'm gonna get Natsu's tattoo on my shoulder.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, his is going to be like black, so it's just a one and done. I'm actually getting the red tattoo, like exactly how Natsu's is, the red tattoo. So I'm gonna have to go back for touch-ups and everything. So I'm like, yeah.
I would love to get a tattoo, but I'm not getting Jalal's freaking tattoo. That's not going on my face.
Not happening.
Because that would be lovely to walk into work at Cracker Barrel. Hi! What is on your
You gotta
face?
think about what's practical to cover up. I mean, like,
Right.
if it can be covered up with clothing, cool. You gotta cover it up with tons and tons of makeup, and you sweat it off, and then it's gonna show, and then you're gonna get in trouble. It's not worth
Come on, Jalal, you're a theater student. You know how to use makeup.
I was a freaking AV student.
You've been a zombie in The Walking Dead. I don't want to hear it.
Okay, yes, I was, but still.
That is so cool.
Yes.
He was one of the zombies for the season 2 finale for Walking Dead.
That's awesome.
I sat on
People,
the ending of the barn
you
burning.
definitely get it on your face because
Yeah,
you have a
I sat on the ending of the barn burning for 6 months. I knew about the ending for 6 months, and I could not say crap.
Nice.
I was sitting there, I'm like, and people were like, how does it end? How does it end? I can't freaking tell you.
No, I can imagine his parents bugging him about how it's gonna end.
Yeah, please just tell me. Please just tell me.
How's it gonna end? How's it gonna end?
Yeah.
When people realize that, they're like, "Oh my god, what's happening in season 3?" He's like, "I don't know. I'm an extra."
See, that's the kind of stuff that's so hard about working at Funimation is you go to a convention and people are like, "Oh my gosh, I love the show. And Funimation's gonna be working on it." And then they're like, "Do you know the cast?" I'm like, "No." Yeah.
No? Like at Colossal Con, getting the key for Lucy, and they're like, "Oh, are you Lucy?" And you're like, no, I just
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I can't believe we were at the same con, and because they'd only announced Todd, I didn't talk to you, and I feel so horrible about that.
Oh, yeah. Somebody brought me a manga, and they did the same thing for Shauna. They brought me a manga before it was released, and I was like, I can't sign this. I was like, oh, this is so cool. I love this show. I wonder who's playing this character. And they're like,
Right.
"Okay, we know you are." I was like, okay, stop it. I can get in so much trouble. I was like, I'm not playing this character. I don't know who is, but I know it's not me. And then like 2 weeks later, it is me. And they're like, you lied to me. I'm like, you almost got me fired. So, I'm sorry, but yes, I lied to you. I told a white lie because I was under contract. And I don't like being sued.
I like having what little money I have.
Yeah, exactly. I like to not live in a cardboard box.
Right?
When it rains.
I will say this though, strangers have the best candy. I'm just saying.
You
Do
bet
what?
they do.
Oh my god. All right, you remember all right, there's a character in Fairy Tale that is like a tiny little old man that like took over a restaurant, and he wears like a chef's hat.
Okay.
And he shows up later in the arc that we're currently in the manga. He shows up later as an announcer. And so we were like, what voice should we give this guy? So Jalog gives him the Herbert the Pervert from Family Guy voice.
He's just sitting there talking his mouth off.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh god, but it's so much fun.
Especially
It's
when
so
like
funny.
it's got those lines that aren't sexual at all, and then all of a sudden one of them pops up.
Well, this is a swimsuit contest.
Yeah, that's just a terrifying. That voice does that for anyone though. Like for anything that you say.
But I mean, that's another thing that I've been loving about this is like everybody that's worked on it. You all seem to be like really big fans of this series. Like Tyler has all the manga, and I'm like, he's so a fanboy, and that's what I want in my director.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? And I have the first 2 volumes, and then.
Oh, my girlfriend would be mad at you right now because we were walking around the dealer room all day today looking for volume 2. And nobody had volume 2. And she's like, I'm not getting volume 3 until I have volume 2.
I do, but I got mine at like Barnes and Noble.
Oh, yeah. I was telling her to go on the Right Stuff because it's cheaper.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Right Stuff USA or Amazon, those you can go through those official sources. Right Stuff is legit. So use that, please.
Absolutely. I when it gets crazy, I mean, sometimes I'll try. There's a Half Price Books in Texas, and I'll always check there first. But sometimes I just got to do it. I'm like, with Fairy Tale, I was like, okay, so I wanted to read the first manga the first volume before I went and recorded my first episode. And then I started getting so far ahead recording that I was like, I've already read this. I already know what happens. And I don't know which volume I'm on now, which volume to buy. And I was like, you know, I'm just
Would you like to know?
Do what?
Because I can tell you volume. I can tell you what volume. Okay, the arc that's coming out is actually, because the next 24 episodes is one arc. And it is the Oracion Seis, the Oracion Seis arc, and that is actually like volumes. What is that? Does it start at 17?
I will check
through 22 and stuff like that. Because Edalus is right after. Oh my god, you're gonna have so much fun when you get to Edalus. You are going to laugh so hard, especially when it gets to the anime at that point, because you're gonna hear this Japanese rap going on, and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool. And then just remember that when you're hearing this, it's a white guy rapping in Japanese.
My gosh.
Yes, it's
so
hilarious.
Excited. I'll make my boyfriend listen to it too. He's getting a kick out of that.
It's called Rock City Boy. Yeah, it's really, really good. We actually used it as our opening, our intro for the Fairy Tale podcast for episodes 25 through 49.
Oh, cool.
So everybody always asks what your favorite character is, and I don't want to do that because I've experienced that now, and I totally get it when you say it's like picking your favorite child. No.
Yeah.
The question I wanted to ask is actually, which characters have you portrayed that you think you have the most in common with?
Well, it's interesting because as I started, it's funny just how cosmic universe stuff works. I'll work on certain characters that are dealing with certain aspects of their life that as I start working on the character and start analyzing it, I'm dealing with the exact same things in my life. So I'm like, whoa, this is weird. Well, I mean, it's just stuff like I was working on a show that was dealing a lot with standing up for the character had to work on standing up for herself and dealing with the exact same thing in an aspect of my life, and I was like, oh my god, this is nuts. This character is
in a way, dubbing is therapy for you.
It kind of is.
It is teaching you valuable life lessons.
Absolutely. And when people watch it, they can learn the same valuable life lessons. And that is our lovely school special for today, kids.
All right, let's go smoke in the back room.
Hey, Matsu.
Out on the blacktop, rather. But I relate to Lucy in Fairy Tale a lot. as she like knows what she wants. She goes for it. She's incredibly high integrity, and she's incredibly determined. I related a lot to Mai in Ghost Hunt,
Mm-hmm.
who like paranormal stuff. I actually related a lot to Yoshika in Strike Witches. I thought she was a very endearing character. And she got harassed a lot. And if anybody has heard any stories about me at Funimation, I am like everybody's younger sister who they all like to harass and pick on. So I could totally relate there.
Carla.
That sounds a little like our Lucy.
No, that sounds like our Carla.
Our Carla?
I relate to Shauna and Shauna a lot. That one's definitely been a favorite.
Oh, I love Shakugan and Shauna.
Oh, so good.
It's such a good series.
So excited. And, I mean, there's a series that I, like, love that I got to work on, and I'm like, okay, I can identify with this aspect of this character and this aspect of this character, and then other aspects of the character will just reveal themselves that I can find myself relating to. But, like, Maya and Lucy and probably Tamaki and Bamboo Blade and Yoshika and Strike Witches, immediately I was just like, yeah, I get you. This is very easy for me.
Okay.
And Sean's kind of in the same way.
Well, to ask you a favorite question, but not one that relates specifically to any characters you've done.
Before you go on, do you want me to tell her the volumes for Oración Seis?
Go ahead. Yeah.
They're volumes 16 through 20.
16 through
20.
Okay,
It's
cool.
34
Thanks.
chapters.
Yeah, 21 and 21 just came out, so 21's the newest. So that'll actually start up Edalist. That's cool. Yeah, you get to meet a new character, a new Dragon Slayer, and a new cat.
Oh, my mom will be so excited. My mom loves the cat.
Like if you saw the Facebook page, you've got Happy there with a fish in his mouth, and on the other side there's this white cat.
Yes, I've seen the white cat. My mom will.
That's Charle. That's Carla, and Happy is head over heels for her.
Well, I mean, of course. Have you seen
Yes.
Carla? She's precious.
Well, in the next arc, there ends up being a third cat that you find out about.
Oh, my mom will be so stoked.
Yeah,
It's a huge
you keep
cat
finding
lover.
more and more cats.
And then
will
later
start
on,
showing
there's
up.
like 3 more cats, and one that's very, very, very creepy looking.
In the filler arc, there's a new cat that's introduced that's like a super smarty cat. Like it's super intelligent cat. Oh my god.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, your mom's got a lot of awesomeness to look forward to.
Yes, she'll be thrilled.
Yes. But out of all the characters that you've seen and kind of become familiar with in Fairy Tail, who are your favorite? Who's your favorite Fairy Tail character aside from Lucy?
Okay.
Yes.
I really love Loki.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's one of my faves. And I mean I love Happy, I love Natsu, I love all of them, but I'm trying to pick one that's like a little bit on the periphery there. I like Loki. That's a good choice too, especially like when you get to the backstory that he had. It's amazing.
Oh, it really did, like you said before, take a 2-dimensional character and just make it so much more worthwhile.
That's one of the reasons that I really loved the character is because I, very much like Lucy, reacted the exact same way. I saw him across, like, when we first, like, introduced the character, and Lucy was like, oh, he's really attractive. No, and then she was, like, over it. She didn't like him. She didn't trust him. I was like, no, she better not. She better not trust this guy. He's shady. Yeah, he's a lazy man. I don't trust this guy for 1 second, which is exactly, like, my personality type. We're not tolerating this. And then once I heard the backstory and finally got to know him, I was like, oh, you got to give the pretty boy a chance. You got to let him talk. They're not all that cool. And I just thought he had a great arc. And so that scene where with Lucy and Loki and all of that, it was one of my favorite scenes. So
Now I'm going to ask my last question, and I'm going to move on to letting anyone else ask a question that's on the call, and then we're going to get to some of the fan questions, and we'll kind of wrap things up from there. But my last question is basically, if you could use any of the magic in Fairy Tale, what magic would you choose?
Man.
If you could do dragon slay magic, if you could do picked magic, if you could do takeover magic like Elfman and Mira, there's so much magic out there. Of course there's celestial mages still, but what would you want to do?
Like I'm really I think about all the cool magic that everybody else can do, and I'm like, no, I gotta be loyal. Like I love her magic. I love the collecting of the keys. I think that would be so much fun if I was a celestial wizard.
Right.
Just collect keys, and then when you collect a key, it's like a new trading card. Now you have a new buddy. And
it's the Pokemon of Fairy Tale.
It seems so much fun. And I have a ridiculously heavy and thick keychain. I collect tons of stuff on my keychain. So I think Celestial Wizard is, it's totally me. I just can't.
If you had a second one, then
probably what Mira Jane and Elfman do, probably the takeover.
Oh, the takeover magic? Yeah, even though I'm not to, I would have said, I would love to have Requip, because that would be so useful, because at first I thought, it's just weapons and armor. No. She requips pajamas and outfits and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, that is so useful.
Yeah.
What? I have to go to the Grammys tonight? Requip.
Yeah.
Done.
No, I would love that. I'm a big clothes fashion nerd, so I would love that as well. But just the fact of being able to take over somebody or, be somebody else would be kind of fun as well. I don't know.
Okay.
There's really not a magical power in this show.
She's shown up a little bit, so you know who Lisanna is? And her takeover ability is she actually transforms into like different animals and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So
pretty cool.
She's the less beastly of the family, but she's got the animal abilities that are really cool.
Pretty cool.
So I agree. The takeover magic's it's so awesome. I'm gonna let the rest of them do it because I've talked too much already.
My I guess junior, maybe senior year in high school, I don't even remember. Our theme for homecoming was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So so our whole like homecoming dance was done up like a chocolate factory, and it was pretty cool.
My favorite play is my first play because you never forget the first one.
No,
or your first
absolutely.
Play. Oh, my favorite play is actually now Arsenic and Old Lace because that was the first one I did.
That's a good one.
Oh, yeah, and then I saw the movie. I was like, oh my god, it's Cary Grant. And then I was Lieutenant Rooney, so I came in for like just a little bit in the third act. I was barely in it, and like I'd like totally not thought about acting as being so much work before, and then like I was working so hard to do maybe like 5 minutes worth of acting on stage, and I was working on it because I had to get that Brooklyn accent down and everything. It's like I had to. And it was so much fun, though. I loved it. It was great. So, for those of you wanting to get into voiceover, first thing you should do, get into acting. If you don't like acting, voiceover is not for you.
Amen.
When you said something about you being lieutenant, I thought you were going to say I was Lieutenant Dan.
No, but unfortunately, okay, that's another thing. I'll ask you about this one too, because this happened to me. All right. Mama said they my magic shows. They take me anywhere. I started doing that voice shortly after Forrest Gump, and my mom had me doing that voice to everybody. Did your mom ever like make you do voices for other people?
Not my mom. My grandmother makes me do it all the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was. I felt like I was the party thing that she was like taking around and showing people. Like, hey, look, you can do Forrest Gump. Do Forrest Gump.
You're like the new baby that can walk, or the puppy
exactly.
that can sit, and they're like, here, pet trick, impress my friend with your skill.
I must have had me about 15 Dr. Peppers.
My people at my work make me do voices all the time because I entertain myself with them. But they're like, hey, say something in this. Recently, Natsu's brother has been getting me to say this. He keeps saying it, and somehow, like someone said, I perfected it when I was at the con a couple days ago. All of a sudden, I just went, "Hello, nurse."
Oh, awesome.
I still like the radio play that they did, the Star Wars radio play. That was hilarious. Well, all I've got to say is, hello, Vader! And I'm like, oh my god, I love that. Oh, it was so funny.
Amazing.
Reunited and it feels so good. Love Jess Arnell. Man.
All right. Do you play games? I know you voice games, but do you play games?
Yes, I play on I have a DS, so I play games on my DS.
Mm-hmm.
And then my brother is slowly but surely introducing me to his Xbox and PlayStation things. So slowly but surely.
Okay, when you were talking about how you would want to have the celestial keys as your power,
yeah.
In video games where there's collecting stuff, do you want to collect everything in the game?
Oh, 100%, yes. I love to play Mario Party. With my boyfriend, and I really don't care about winning any of the battles. I just want to collect the most items and have the most stars. That's it. That's all I care about.
Yay.
Win. And he stole my star, and that was like, I didn't talk to him for about 3 hours.
Well, since you mentioned having a DS, I wanted to also let you know that we'll keep fingers crossed on this, but hopefully very soon. I know that there actually is a Fairy Tail game for the DS in Japan, and we're hoping that it comes over here.
Yeah.
So you can collect your celestial keys for real.
Yes, that would be the coolest thing in the world. Oh my gosh, I would freak out.
It's like, I'm collecting keys in that video game.
And then I'm gonna go do it at work.
And then you could totally be like, and they're my keys. No, really, my keys.
Absolutely, I would do it.
Yeah.
These are mine for real. Don't take them away from me.
Y'all should take silly pictures and we can post them on our site when y'all do stuff like that. It's like, my keys.
We totally will. I think I'll probably try to take some funny ones when we record.
Yay.
When I start season Doves.
We really, like, the thing that we want to do is start hyping this like crazy. So if you guys want to send us anything to help us, to, like, help hype it, we will totally do that. Whatever.
Got it. Totally.
Yes. Oh, we love you.
Yay!
Yes. So Cherami Leigh is coming back for episode 100, right?
Yeah. 100%.
100? 100? Yes.
Yeah.
We should have.
That's only like, you know, like, what is it? What are we at now on the live shows? Because we do live shows now.
Oh.
Live
like
shows, we're on,
56,
I think,
57.
57.
Yeah, I think we're at 57. So 43 more weeks.
Okay.
And, yeah. And we'll be calling you again.
Oh, Lucy, do you want to tell Cherami about what you want her to do with Happy?
Oh, that's right. Oh my god, I want you to sign Happy, because Todd signed Happy's butt.
Oh, hey, I would totally sign Happy.
And where do you want her to sign?
Oh my god, sign it all over the wings. Just
That'd
like
be awesome.
that. It's like all
Like the
over
big,
it.
like she's like the John Hancock of the Happy Declaration.
First name on one, last name on the other.
It's so Grandma Naru can read it without her glasses.
That's hilarious.
Daddy Gara.
Daddy Gara. Oh. They called my dad Daddy Gara. It's hilarious.
Because I didn't know his name and I had to put it in my phone, so I was like, Daddy Gara.
Kamu Danielle, or Daniel. If I'm saying your name wrong, you can yell at me about that. I'm sorry. Who are your favorite voice actors? Who are your favorite voice actors to work with? Isn't that one and the same, pretty much? And who are her favorite character to voice in any anime? And I'm like, well...
I don't know. I mean, favorite voice actors. I mean, I've never worked with Tara Strong, and I think she's an insanely talented voice actor. I love her. I've never worked with Patrick Warburton, and I think he's awesome. I just drew a blank on her name, and I've met her, and this is terrible. Her first name is Veronica, and she voiced Ash in Pokemon. I love her. She's
yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember her last name either. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
She's amazing. And another voice actor that I love that I have never worked with. I also can't remember her last name at the moment, but her first name is Kathy, and
Veronica
she
Taylor.
was on Veronica Taylor. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought it was, but I'm not sure. I didn't want to say her name wrong. And then, but Kathy, and she works on My Little Pony, amongst other things. And then she plays Spike in My Little Pony, actually. And,
Kathy
that's awesome.
Weisluck?
Kathy Weisluck, yeah.
Yeah, Kathy Weisluck. Yeah.
Thank you,
or
Google.
Weisluck. Weisluck or Weisluck.
Good job, Google.
I was actually. I'll have to send you a picture of it if somebody has it. I cosplayed as Spike this weekend.
Oh, how cool!
Yeah, I missed the My Little Pony photo shoot. Nobody let me know when it was, and I was the only Spike cosplayer there.
I love Pony.
Apparently there was I'm a total brony.
I'm a Twilight Sparkle all the way.
Oh, apparently there was a pimp Sparkle, like somebody dressed up as Twilight Sparkle as a pimp, and I was like, I want to see that.
That's hilarious.
I totally want to see that.
Favorite voice actors to work with. I don't know if there's a voice actor that I don't like to work with, especially at Funimation. I mean, I'm sure there will be some point a voice actor that I'm like, there's so much energy or something, but I have not run into that. I don't know. I like people with a lot of energy, so. Love working with Todd, love working with Colleen, love working with Monica, love working with Janie, love working with Pia, Alexis, Josh Greeley, Ian Sinclair, Brina Palencia, Brian Maskey. Now I'm thinking of people off the top of my head.
I have not heard a single person yet that I could not have that I could picture not being energetic and awesome.
Yeah,
so yeah,
really
you're good
cool.
on that.
Sabertooth,
I think you've been rather blessed to be surrounded by so many amazing people. So.
100%. And I mean, like I was talking to a bunch of people, and I said, there's so many great female voice actors at Nation that I really would not be able to be where I was and working on the things I'm working on if not for them, because they've all helped me and motivated me and guided me to do things and pushed me to take risks. And even the male directors have been great, but I have these female voice actors to look up to and listen to and say, oh, that's really cool. I wonder if I could try to my voice. And sometimes I can't do it, and sometimes I can't do some Stephanie Young, Colleen Klinkenbeard voice stuff, but I can try. So maybe someday. Probably not, but maybe someday. The directors at Funimation are all amazingly cool.
Well, I can move on to the next one now. This one comes from Liam Tasker, and he says, what are your feelings about Lucy when voicing her in the first episode where she tries to use her looks to get free stuff from a shop, compared to Phantom Lord episodes where you find out her mom is dead and she's been neglected by her father all of her life? So what were your feelings learning about the different sides of Lucy, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, in the first episode, I definitely was like, come on, you're making me feel really guilty. I mean, a couple of friends were like, just steal a piece of candy, or steal, I can't do it. Like, I just feel insanely guilty. So I can't do, that was really, like, something I don't think that I would ever do, although I don't turn down free stuff if it's given, but I can't make it taking it, if that makes any sense.
But then again, the shop owner in that shop was still kind of creepy. Look,
yes,
green, blue.
He was a little weird. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you can make it work for your benefit, go for it. It hasn't really worked for my benefit that way. I pay for things, so I don't know what that's like.
But she was just trying to get a bigger discount.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Which it is kind of weird when I was at a convention recently, and I felt really bad about it, but the guy wouldn't take no for an answer, so I was okay. I wanted to buy a couple of fairy tale things, and my mom, who goes to conventions with me, she said, oh, Cherami. And of course, there's not really that many Cheramis in general, certainly not at a convention. And the guy was like, wait, are you Cherami Leigh, who voices Lucy in Fairy Tale? And I said, yeah. And he's like, will you sign this piece of paper? And then he gave me like what would have been $50 worth of things and would not let me pay more than $15. So I felt bad about that, but I kept trying to pay him more and he kept throwing it back at me. So I don't know.
I love you. Take a discount. Be quiet.
I was like, okay, thank you, good sir. This is so nice. So in return, I sent a bunch of people to his booth throughout the day.
There you go. There you go. That totally made up for it right there.
Because he's great. I said if I go back, he's not gonna let me pay for anything else. He's an incredibly giving individual. But yeah, that was also one of my favorite episodes when she got to stand up to her dad and kind of like put him in his place and just say, I'm not going to allow anybody to make me feel bad for doing things that I want to do, and I'm emancipating myself and kind of becoming my own person, which I thought was a really great scene. And that scene I definitely cried in. It's one of the many scenes that I've cried in when I was recording.
We definitely want to talk about making sure that the fans keep buying Fairy Tail and keep it going, because there is more to come between Lucy and her father later on in the series that you're going to love portraying. So you're going to have a lot more fun with that.
Yeah.
There's a lot more between that.
Fairy Tail, because like we were discussing earlier with shows like Sergeant Frog, the fan support is there, but we were talking, Todd and I were talking at a convention, and people were like, yeah, we've all seen it, but we would get like a viewing party together with 30 people and only buy one DVD. And that's like, well, that's great that 30 of you all loved the show, but all Funimation saw was that one person bought it out of 30. And that means that only 1 out of 30 liked the show, so they didn't buy more episodes. So.
Well, with Fairy Tail, I think it's like 1 out of every 2 people.
Yes!
So
now we just have to get everyone to love it.
Yeah, well, that's why we're here. That's my job.
I appreciate it.
So moving to the next one, then this is Rosario Roland. That's a fun name to say, by the way. That is a fun name to say. She says, okay, first of all, great voice acting as Lucy in Fairy Tail.
Thank you.
Ayano in Kazuno Stigma.
Oh, thanks.
And Patty in Soul Eater.
Yay, thank you.
I could name many more I like, but it will take too long.
That's great.
What are your reactions when you get the role of many characters? Are any of them a shock to you?
Yeah. This one was a shock to me. Mine Ghost Hunt was a shock. Actually, Ayano was a shock. Shauna was a shock. There's been many that I'm like, for real? Knee socks and panty and stocking was totally a shock.
That was hilarious, by the way. I'm going to hug you for that when I see you.
Cool. Okay, so you liked it. That's good.
Oh God, yes. I checked out several of the episodes that were posted up online on the Funimation website. Yay for being a member and a premium member. But oh my God, I gotta say I loved listening to it completely raw and uncensored. That was hilarious.
Yes, it was super fun to do that show.
It was a very good time, yeah. And then I bought it and I read the description to my dad while I was at the con, and he was like,
"Don't watch."
We've gotta. No, my dad, who's like in his 50s, is like, I want to watch that. And I'm like,
amazing.
Yes.
Cool.
Well, my dad, it's really, really interesting. My dad wants to cosplay as the Ox King. So.
Oh
wow. From Dragon Ball. So that's going to be really fun.
So funny. That's awesome.
So hey, you may see us together and see him as the Ox King. I'll be like, you have to give my dad a hug.
Yeah, I totally will. That's awesome.
You give my dad a hug, I'll give your mom a hug. We'll be awesome together. There we go.
Sounds great.
All right. She has multiple questions on here. I'm sorry. I'm going to go through them as quickly as I can. What are your thoughts on season 2 of Fairy Tail?
I have not investigated very much because I want to watch it and be surprised instead of being uber prepared like I was last season. So since season 3, I'm going to take a different route. So I'm incredibly ecstatic and anxious to learn more about it. Everybody keeps telling me little bits here and there, and I just can't wait to get to work. So.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you about season 2, and this isn't actually a spoiler, really. You're going to love it. So,
yay!
There you go. Hey. All right, the next one is, how is it like to work with Todd?
Todd's grand. I mean, I've worked with him a couple of times, so it's always an exciting pleasure to get to work with that guy. He's insanely talented, and he throws himself into every role, and I don't think that a lot of them sound alike. I mean, some of them sound similar, but then there are others that I'm like, that can't even be him. That's not. So he's just a super talented guy and goes full force into everything. And when he's recorded before me, I'm like, gosh, so nice. I just get to act and react off this guy. And when I'm not there, the pressure is on because I gotta be as impressive as he is. So.
Right. Do you know anything about the Fairy Tale movie?
No, I mean, I don't know plot stuff. I don't know if we get to work on it. So
I'm pretty sure that we know more about the Fairy Tale movie than you do right now.
I think you probably do. I'm probably going to investigate the movie if we get to record it before.
Funimation has the licensing rights to the movie, so you will be recording it.
Yeah, then I'll probably research that one before.
It takes place much farther than where the anime is right now.
Hey.
Because there is a 7-year time skip that occurs in Fairy Tale, and that takes place after the 7-year time skip.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah. Very, very interesting. Well, it's a 7-year time skip in which pretty much the key members of the guild are frozen in time. So,
yeah.
So time moved on for everyone else, and then for them it's just been like a few minutes. So.
Oh, I can't wait. That sounds so cool.
It's going to be really, really cool. That's where we're at right now. We're in the we're after 7 years is where we're at right now in the manga. So it's going to be really, really fun. And Mashima himself was very much involved with this movie. So it's the first ever Fairy Tale movie, and it got announced. Actually, it got announced that Funimation acquired the licensing rights for the movie 10 days before it came out in theaters in Japan.
Oh my gosh.
That was so quick. So trust me when I say Funimation has heard that the fans want Fairy Tale.
Yay! Well, thank you, fans. I appreciate it.
Well, we were posting for a long, long time to try and get Fairy Tale up on Toonami.
Oh,
so much.
Yeah.
Hashtag Fairy Tale on Toonami. We started that. Yeah.
I don't know what's up with that. That would be amazing.
The next one I feel you've kind of already answered. Do you read any of the manga? If so, which ones? So.
Yeah, I have my volumes 1 and 2, and may read some more. You never know.
Do you have a favorite opening theme in Fairy Tale? Or which one of the openings do you like, or have you gotten a chance to check them out?
We get to watch the opening themes. I don't know which one my favorite is. I don't know. I guess I like both of them equally because I literally can't pick a favorite.
And she says, "Thank you for mentioning my questions last time. Made my day." So
day made again, I suppose.
Day made again. Yeah, that is all the questions we have gotten for you. And that was actually a lot of questions.
Yeah,
so I'm quite happy with that. All right. So is there any more things that you'd like to talk about or share? This is when we wrap up. It's also kind of a chance for you to plug anything that you can talk about. I'm
playing Shauna in Shakugan no Shauna, obviously doing season 2 of Fairy Tale. And I'm Suzuha in Steins Gate. And
I've been hearing a lot about Steins Gate because I was going over to the Funimation booth, and they had a huge thing for Steins Gate. I'm very curious about that. I'm going to check it out.
It's very, very cool. It's a great show. So I recommend those. I think those are the only 3 that I'm allowed to talk about right now, and then working on some other projects. And when I'm allowed to talk about more, I shall.
Yeah. So in another 50 episodes, come back and you will know. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll be able to share.
So by that time, she'll be able to share.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much. We had a wonderful time. Are there any questions that you'd like to ask of us, or that you'd like to ask the fans, or anything?
I don't know. Keep supporting Fairy Tale, and if you guys have any comments or questions or anything, you can message or follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and I check those as regularly as I can. And I
join the Epic Knights of Cherami Leigh.
Knights of Cherami Leigh, yeah.
Yes,
Crazy.
Join them. Join them. Look, I'm a member of that fan club. You should be too.
Yeah. We have a theme song. Crazy.
I know, right? I'm also part of Newton Pittman's new fan club as well.
Yeah.
The only one we haven't had on the show for more than 10 minutes now.
Oh my gosh.
You know?
Have to get.
Yeah, Newton. I'm like, how do I even get a hold of Newton Pittman? Like, people, when I email you at Funimation, answer me back, please. We're trying to get Newton on. How is it we can have Natsu on 3 times but never have Gray? I don't get this.
That is a good question. That is
a very good question. So when you get to Funimation and you're dubbing these, you need to walk up to Newton and be like, look, the Fairy Tale podcast guys have been trying to get you on the show. You need to talk to them.
Yeah, you have to. You have to do it.
Yeah, and you have to poke it. You like poke him in the chest, like big sister telling him. You know? No.
I totally will. I'll be like.
I'm totally directing this performance right now.
It'll be great.
I need big sister action and energy in this one.
It'll be great. I'll make it happen.
Thank you so much. I mean, you can just ask him if you want to mention it to him. That's more than enough for us.
Yeah, if I see him, I totally will.
Thank you. You were awesome. So, everybody, we hope that you enjoyed this. Once again, the amazingness that is Cherami Leigh, the personality, voice, and charisma behind Lucy Heartfilia. Ooh, and how much more awesome is it going to be if we pick up season 3 and she gets to be both Lucys?
I can't even get excited about that unless I know it's actually going to happen. Because if it doesn't,
just wait. If you think season 1 did well, wait till we start hyping season 2 as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
You haven't seen anything. The marketing machine on this podcast. Oh, I'm telling you.
We'll make it happen.
We will.
I have faith.
Through blood, sweat, and tears, we will get this accomplished.
Awesome.
I sound like we're gonna dive into a fire to get you the sales that you require.
Hey, I mean, whatever it.
Which is true, because we're totally gonna do it. I'm gonna dive into a fire and start eating it all because I'm not Natsu Dragneel, and this is the Fairy Tale podcast. Damn it!
Amazing. That's so.
That is my Natsu voice. It's so sad.
I love it.
But I hope you had just as much of a good time as everybody who's listening to this. Please don't forget all the ways that you can get a hold of us. We're going to play those through. And that is it for us. I am Natsu Dragneel. That is Jalal. There are 2 Lucys here from the greatest guild in the world. Peace off.
Thanks for listening.
Alrighty, so we hope you enjoyed the interview and this episode of the podcast. We all know that Fairy Tale sure did, because it looks like we're getting ready to beat the snot out of Sabertooth, and can't wait for that. Alrighty, that is pretty much it for us, except to do what we do best, and that is to name this ridiculous episode of the podcast. So, episode 50 shall be called What? Elfman.
Whale hunting!
That is so wrong. Nobody's gonna get that. Nobody. Mira.
Stare downs!
Lisanna.
Mission destroy Sabertooth.
Lucy.
Dude, they're going down.
Jalal.
Any whale, we're here.
And Charle.
Yowie gone wrong.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I'm going with episode 50, Lucy and the Squeaky Boobs. Alright, so that is going to wrap it up for us, and we are going to play through all the ways that you can get in touch with us. You can find us online by going and checking out our live shows. Did you even know we do live shows now? From episode 51 on, we do them all live over YouTube if you check out the channel Gothic Zero Gara. Now, that doesn't mean that our YouTube page is down or anything. We still are up on YouTube if you want to go on there and check it out. Fairy Tale Podcast. You just type that into the search bar and you will find us. We have all 50 episodes up and available online, and we're going to be adding the live shows to our playlist very soon. Also, don't forget to check out the gameplay. Gara/Natsu has been playing Resident Evil 6 with commentary, if you guys want to check that out. And there are many, many more exciting games coming, along with multiple members of the crew being used when we do these recordings. We're going to be doing so much more, and we hope you check them out. as always, please check out and make sure that you not only like, subscribe, and comment, but also share with your friends. That's the best way to get this show out to everyone and let them know what's going on. Make sure to share with your friends. Also, we're on Facebook if you want to like our fan page and check in with us to see what's going on, when and where, if we're going to be at any conventions, what time the shows are going to be on, any of the links that we're posting, and any of the news announcements that we make on the show. Those will most likely be posted on Facebook, and we're going to try and share the love of Fairy Tale as a community, and it's really easy to do that. Go to facebook.com/fairytalepodcast. If you want to follow us on Twitter, our Twitter account is linked to our website as well as our Facebook page. You can follow us on Twitter at FairyTaleCast. Finally, if you'd like to send us an email, you can email us at fairytalepodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget to check out our website, which contains all the images from Reedus Gallery, the full ingredients and directions on how to make the weekly food item from Cooking with Elfman, as well as keeping up on what characters we're talking about in Charle's Magical Education. You can also view the YouTube video directly on the website. Remember, that's fairytalepodcast.wordpress.com. The last annotation that we made at the beginning of every single post that we have on the website is a donation button for our PayPal. Again, guys, it takes money to keep the feed on the air and keep things going and keep everything set up and constantly increasing what we can do. We need your donations to help keep things running around here. So again, go to fairytalepodcast.wordpress.com or to our new Konoha Corner website, which is konohacorner.wordpress.com. And you can click on the donate button and insert the monetary amount of your choice into Happy's little pouch. Alrighty, so thank you once again for checking us out for 50 long episodes. We really, really hope you enjoyed the interview. We were happy to make it part of this episode of the podcast. We will be doing more interviews later on. They're going to be separate, of course. But we wanted to incorporate this one into episode 50 because it's a special episode. Of course, we couldn't have done this without the insane fan support we get from all of you. So thank you so much.
Love you.
Please don't forget the reason that we're all here, and that, of course, is the Fairy Tale series. Please help keep Hiro Mashima employed, and it's really, really simple how to do that. All you gotta do is purchase the anime, manga, video games, and all the incredible swag that's out there. Show your support by being a fan. Be a mage, not an internet pirate, because we've all seen what Urza does to pirates. My name is Natsu Dragneel. I breathe fire, and I can't wait to do some damage to Sabertooth.
I'm Charle, and Sabertooth, game on.
I am Elfman, and here's a tip for everyone. Don't try squeaking your girlfriend's boob without her permission.
I'm Jalal, and I don't know what to say about what Elfman just stated.
I'm Lisanna, and I'll be back on again soon.
I'm Lucy. Does anyone know how to give a good foot massage?
Yes.
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 Yes, actually, yes.
I'm here, and I approve of becoming Sabertooth beatdown.
And that is it for us. We are signing out from the greatest guild in the world, Beast.